Welcome everyone to another episode of Getting Over the Hump, my favorite day of the week, Wednesday, by your boy Phoenix Born. Today we are going to introduce the third episode in this season. Last week we talked about Crossroad, very interesting concept when it comes to viewing your journey. If you missed it, tune into last week and you can watch it there. So with that being said, the third word is time. Now, the definition I found for time will be as followed. I'm going to look at the screen because it's pretty long. The system of those sequential relations that any event has to any other as past, present, or future, indefinite and continuous duration regarded as that in which events succeed one another. That was a mouthful, but I had to go slow because there's a lot we're going to talk about in it. So in last season, I touched on the term past, present, and future on episode windshield. We were talking about your car and then how the front windshield is the future, the side mirrors are the present, and the rear view mirror is the past. So we're gonna expand on it in a bit. Now that road trip that we were in for that episode, imagine it's gonna take you 24 hours. We all have 24 hours in a day. What people say is we should sleep 8 hours a day. So now you're down to 16. We average working 8 hours a day. So now you're down to 8 hours. You have 8 hours to accomplish whatever you want to do before it's time for the new day. Whether that's taking care of your family, working on school stuff, working on your business, relaxing, whatever it is. We all have the same 24 hours. Nobody can go any faster or slower in terms of time. The reason I say that is because once 24 hours are up, we don't go back. So you can keep looking at the day thinking, man, I should have done this, I should have done that differently, but it's gone. The 24 hours are gone. So when you keep looking in the future, well, you're using some of your present time to think about, man, I hope my life reaches that point, or I hope I can accumulate this amount of wealth, or I meet these people, or I accomplish my education, so on and so forth, which is fine, but you have to understand time is limited. So you can't spend too much in the future, you can't spend too much in the past, you gotta make sure you're in the present. It's same thing with that road trip we were doing. If you start the road trip late, the time it takes you between what you were supposed to start leaving your house and when you actually leave the house now affects the traffic, it affects your schedule in terms of eating, going to the restroom, maybe even taking a nap, whatever it may be, assuming you're driving alone. If you have a team, that's different. But in this case, you're driving alone. So when it comes to that, you have to manage your time wisely. If you only give yourself 30 minutes to eat, you're only gonna eat for 30 minutes and get back on that road because your goal is to make it to the end of the journey. You wanna be able to accomplish it in 24 hours. Same thing in your journey. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, you have a specific timeline, a specific deadline. Me personally, I give myself deadlines so I keep myself in check. I like to make sure, okay, I'm in the present, I'm focusing on what I need to do, I have it laid out so that way I'm not worrying about what I did yesterday, and that way I can give myself more time in the future. Ways you can add to time. Making a list, like I mentioned earlier, making deadlines in terms of when you need to accomplish it, writing down the most important things at the top of the list and working your way down. If something's not too important, save it for another day. If something's urgent, take care of that. Because your goal in this journey is to be successful in whatever area it's trying to be. Let's say you're giving yourself a year to open a business. Okay, if you open a business and it takes you a year to get to a certain point, whether you made it or not, you attempted it in a year versus you thinking, man, I don't know, should I do this business? I don't know, I'll probably fail. And you keep wasting time thinking about it in that same year where you didn't do anything. Now that's a year gone. And that's what you want to do. You want to maximize your time. You want to be able to make it as efficient as possible. Of course, it's easier said than done, but you know yourself and you know how this journey is going to go in terms of your skill set, your abilities, your confidence, everything. Maximize your time because we only have 24 hours per day. The greatest in sports and business, they all do the same thing. They just maximize it. They wake up at certain times, they make sure that they're able to accomplish what they need, so that way they know, hey, I was very productive for 24 hours. And sometimes as you continue on in this journey, there's nothing wrong with resting for a day. I mentioned it before. Sometimes your best days after you've been grinding and working 24/7 is to rest for 24 hours. That's another way to maximize time. So you treat time like a game. Okay, I have 2 weeks to accomplish 10 things. If I can accomplish 5 in the first week, that means I have 5 to go in the second week. Let's say by some miracle you gain extra time in your schedule, you don't have to work as much, life calmed down a little bit, and you have free time. Well, try to knock them out. Try to take care of those other tasks, so that way when you go to week 2, instead of 5 to go, now you only have 3 to go. Just treat it like a game. And once you understand the game of time, it becomes easier in making important decisions and knowing how to navigate through your journey. Hopefully you enjoyed episode 3 of Time. I really had fun making this video. It was really interesting because I love talking about it. As always, if you liked the video, hit that like button, comment for feedback. I've had a few friends tell me their feedback and I'm really happy. And anytime they tell me something, I go ahead and tweak it, share it if you think anybody needs to hear it, any of your friends or family. And as always, every Wednesday, Getting Over the Hump, a new word will be introduced and I'll be here ready to help you guys out. Take care and have a good day. Bye.